live.
Good evening and welcome to General Council for May 26, 2026. On the agenda for number one, attendance roll call. Go ahead.
Carrie Bomberry.
Helen Miller.
Audrey Paulus Bomberry.
Dale Bomberry.
Dean Hill.
Hazel Johnson. Melba Thomas.
And online.
Cynthia Jameson.
Elena Benry.
Good evening. I'm not online. I just arrived. Amos Key Jr.
Yes. And Councillor Leslie Green should be joining us as soon, the same as Councillor Greg Fraser. Let's go to number two. Let's take a moment of silence and pay our respects to the community members that we have recently lost. Let's take a moment. Thank you. Let's go to number three, adoption of the agenda. For 8.2, we're going to take off community committee because there was no quorum. So we're going to take that one off. With that deletion, is there a mover? Moved by Audrey, second by Melba. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number four, adoption of the general council minutes of May 12th, 2026. Is there a mover? Moved by Carrie, second by Melba. Any comments, questions? See none, all in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Let's go to number five, delegations and presentations. Our first delegation is Dean McIntosh from Crime Stoppers coordinator. Come on up. And welcome. So when you speak, you just got to push the button and the red light will come on and everybody will be able to hear you. So if you can introduce yourself, and Natasha's going to bring up your presentation and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Chief Hill, and council members for having me here tonight. Appreciate that. So my name is Dean McIntosh. I'm the coordinator for the Crime Stoppers program that covers Brantford Police OPP for Brant County and Six Nations. I've been in the role for about a year and a half, and kind of the main purpose of the visit tonight is kind of my goal when I took over is I wanted to increase our board members. And I'd like to have representation from all the communities that our program serves. So I've spoke to the police chief and asked about some potential options, and kind of nothing has panned out to date. So that's kind of what leads me here right now. I guess we'll get rolling in the.
Just before you start, go ahead, Councillor Van Avery.
Oh, sorry, I'll reserve my question until after the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Okay, go ahead.
I guess we can skip into the next slide, please. Just a quick agenda. So we'll talk a little bit about Crime Stoppers, our vision, some of our partners that we have, what we do in the community, where our funding comes from, and a little bit about a business plan and the programs that we offer. So our local program started in 1984 as a collaborative between what was the city commission back then and the police department, and today it's blossomed, and we're now a completely independent program that works with the three different police services, different community partners, media, local businesses and service clubs to kind of help promote our program and give citizens an option to report on crime anonymously. So we provide that platform so they can do that safely and anonymously. Next slide. Okay, so like I said, we're a nonprofit charitable organization now that provides a platform for people to report on crime anonymously when they don't feel safe to do so otherwise. Right now, we have 6 board members, 1 police coordinator. That we work with 3 different police services, and we also have a small complement of volunteers that help us out with our different fundraising initiatives and community events that we attend. Next slide. Our board of directors, their kind of roles and responsibilities. So they're all civilian. We hold monthly meetings similar to this and discuss our plans and go over what needs to be done and vote on. So when there's crimes that are solved through the program, the board members vote on the rewards that we hand out and get approved. And they also work on raising funds, which help pay for the rewards and fund the program. And, the big thing is to increase our visibility and public awareness so that people know that we're still here and use the program. Next slide. So I guess that's the link there. If anybody does want to be a board member, we have a link on our website where you can send in a quick application. Our board reviews everybody that comes in. We do background checks and so on and so forth, and before anybody gets approved. So that's kind of usually how that works. Community served. So we cover roughly 175,000 people. There's a little map there of Brantford, Brant County, and 6 Nations. Next slide. The vision, so Crime Stoppers works with our partners and community members to be part of the solution for community crime reduction. It's pretty straightforward. Try and help reduce crime and solve crime. Mission, increase anonymous tip submission. That's it. Pretty straightforward. So we need to get the message out there that we're an option and encourage people to use our program and feel safe doing so. Next slide. So the business plan, pretty simple right now. Big thing is increasing board members so that we can lighten the load and do more for the communities that we serve. And obviously having more board members will help that. And also finding long-term sustainable funding is another huge thing that we're moving towards. Being basically living off fundraising for 42 years, it's been tough. So we're trying to come up with ways to make it more sustainable and long-term for funding. Next one. We can kind of skip over that. We've kind of covered this. We can skip this one too. It's kind of more for kind of how the program itself works when people call in tips. And the next one as well. And skip again. Sorry. And one more time. Where are we? One more. Okay, so there's a breakdown of our funding. So the majority of our funding comes from writing different community grants and anything other grants that pop up and become available. Our fundraising campaigns come next at about 22%. We also have some private donors that donate yearly, whether it's through trust funds or just annual donations. And then we also have a 5-year plaque program. so that we're not bugging people every year. It just seems to make sense, and some of the businesses appreciate that. And then the next one, just shows some of the different fundraising events that we've done over the year. Um, Typically, we try and do one a month. It doesn't always work out that way because we'll do other events in the community instead, just to promote awareness, or if we have different campaigns going. Next one, that's just another fundraising that we have coming up in our golf tournament. Um, and then this one talks about our community involvement. So the Brantford Bulldogs did an awareness night for us the one night, which was great to get in front of that big of an audience and them promote us. It was very helpful. What else? We used to do we don't do it anymore, but we used to have a scholarship fund with Mohawk. That's the bottom picture down there in the corner left. That was our last recipient that got the Crime Stoppers scholarship. But with funding the way it has been, we haven't been able to do that for a few years. And next one, Crime Stoppers, does it work? Short answer is yes, it does work. Is it 100%? No. But it's not only measured just by stats. There's other factors that I think are important, because we encourage the community members to kind of take part in their community, take responsibility for the community, and get involved and be a part of it. So I think that's important for communities to do that. And then it also just improves community relations between the police, the businesses, citizens, everybody. And the end goal is to have safer communities everywhere. So that's a huge positive. And the next one just touches on some stats since our inception in 1984. So as you can see, we've managed over 28,000 tips. 3,355 arrests have been made. 4,684 cases have been solved. Over $34 million in drugs have been seized, and over $14 million in property have been recovered. So pretty significant, pretty good numbers there. And the total number of rewards we've paid out just shy of $500,000. So, and next one, just an interesting one. So Crime Stoppers has a national awards ceremony every year, like their AGM. And our past president was nominated for the Lifetime Achievement Award, and he won that. So that's the guy in the middle. He's retired from the board now, but he was pretty excited about that. Very happy. And I guess that's it. Those are our contacts, and I guess we can open it up to any questions.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Go ahead, Councillor Benaver.
Thank you. And also thank you for coming in person. I always appreciate when there's an ask from our community members or our governance table that people do that in person. So I appreciate you being there. I'm sorry that I'm not. I'm wondering if you have any other board members that are from governance tables, municipal or city councils, and how much I may have missed this. My audio kind of cut out right at the most inopportune time. I'm wondering how much time per month would you say would be dedicated to fundraising efforts?
Right now, we do not have any other council members on our board. As far as the time, so meetings take anywhere from an hour to, if somebody gets very long-winded, 2 hours. So that's once a month. And then typically our events are, if we do a fundraising event or a community awareness event, it's a couple hours. So At the most, you're looking at 4 to 6 hours a month. Is that
Thank you.
your question?
Any other questions or comments? Go ahead, Councillor Bomberry.
Just in that chart where you say 3,000 over or 3,300 arrests and over 4,000, are those the same numbers or is that in addition to? So would it be 7,000 impacts in regards to case and solved and arrests and everything? Or is the 3 part of the 4?
So the arrests are just individuals that were arrested. The case is cleared, so one individual may be arrested in connection with 5 different cases, so that's why those numbers are different, yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? So I'm gonna get Natasha to bring up the one slide. I think it's the second or third one. Yep, that one. So I just want to let the community know if you're interested in looking, they're looking for new board members or to volunteer. There's the contact email, correct? Yeah. Website to contact. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in and giving your presentation. Yeah. Okay. Have a great night. Can I have a mover to accept his information? Moved by Dale, second by Audrey. All in favor? Be opposed? See none? Carried. Okay. Natasha says they're not here yet, so the next one's not to be till 6:40. So let's go to number 6. We'll go to Chief's updates. So we'll go to my updates. This is for a period from May 7th to May 21st. The Haldeman Track tour continues on May 14th and 15th. Myself and councillors Dean Hill and Dr. Greg Fraser met with officials of the township of Wellesley and the city of Waterloo and the region of Waterloo, Wilmot Township, and the city of Cambridge. Meeting purpose, the meeting with all municipalities along the Haldeman Track to build relationships and allies, and when mutually beneficial and feasible, to work cooperative together. And again, talking about who we are, also public education and awareness, educating the public about our history, also talking about historical plaques in their communities, also looking at their land acknowledgement, and in the end, inviting the mayors to come here and visit our community. On May 18th was Bread and Cheese Day. I participated in the parade, cut the bread, and provided the remarks. It was so nice to see everyone out despite the heat that day. On May 19th, I hosted the Township of Amaranth. Mayor Chris Garrett was accompanied by 2 councillors and administrative staff. This meeting is a follow-up from the Dufferin County Haldeman Tract on June 5th, 2025. The intent of the meeting was to take a tour of 6 nations, build a relationship, and identify issues that could be supported by both. And that's my update. Is there a mover? Moved by Melba, second by Audrey. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none? Carried. Let's go to number 7, the CEO updates. Go ahead, Deb.
Thank you, Chief. So I do have a few announcements here. The first one is from our Parks and Recreation Department. This is regarding the roof replacement project. It's nearing completion. So the majority of the roof sections have now been successfully completed. There is the installation of Dejo, the metal roof, that's scheduled for late June, early July. And that will be the final phase of the overall roofing initiative. With this, there are no anticipated impacts to our Parks and Rec operations, and all programming and facility use will continue as scheduled during that phase. When it comes to the track, so it is remaining on track with a timeline To date, 2 layers of the running track have been successfully installed. This week, they are beginning the sealing process, followed by application of the blue surface coating and the start of the line painting. So overall, we're approximately 2 weeks away from the project completion. With respect to the ball diamonds, that work is due to start on August the 4th. However, right now, investigative work is starting to identify the drainage aspects for diamonds 1 and 2. So currently, they're working on draft drawings. As a reminder to the community, when it comes to the track and sports field closures, so the blue running track is closed until June the 30th. The East Sports Field is closed as well until June the 30th because that is part of the active construction zone during the track repairs. The facilities that remain open are the West Sports Field, that's open to the public throughout this period. The horse track for event use from May 1st to June 30th, you can call Parks and Rec to request approval of your event. And for general public use, up until June the 30th, walkers and runners are welcome on the horse track from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. only. For ball diamond closures, ball diamonds 1 and 3 are going to be open until August the 4th. They're closed after that until October 31st. And for ball diamond 2, they remain open, or that diamond remains open until September 15th. After that, it is closed for the season. From our lands and membership office, they wanted the community to know that there is a change in the waiting period for lost and stolen cards from 30 days to 10 days. So if a band member loses their card, it must be reported to the lands and membership department for the commencement of a waiting period. And if a minor loses the card, it's up to the parent or legal guardian to report that loss to the lands and membership department. Sometimes cards are returned to lands and membership department from local stores, which is why there is a waiting period. So for the first lost card, the waiting period is 10 days. And for the second lost card, it's also 10 days. So that's a change in the status cards. From our lands and membership office, there are going to be 2 upcoming community engagements on the Ballantree homes. The first session is in person at the community hall on Monday, June the 1st. And the second event is a Facebook Live session on Thursday, June the 11th. There were no times provided, so if you're interested in attending, please call the Lands and Membership Office at 519-753-0665. And the last announcement is about our Community Awareness Month finale. It's for all community members to enjoy. During this event, the Community Awareness Prize winners and the 50/50 ticket winner will be announced. It will also be live streamed on the Six Nations of the Grand River Facebook page. This is an outdoor event, so please bring your lawn chairs and outdoor essentials. Everybody is welcome. That's happening this Friday, May 29th from 11:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. right here at Central Administration.
Okay. Thank you for that update. And again, that one that was mentioned, let me see. Lands and Resources? Yep. This one. Yep. I said membership, that was all the difference. Okay. It's just Lands and Resources and not the membership regarding the one of the Ballantree Homes, that one. Okay, let's go to, we have our next delegation in, Isaac. Good evening, Isaac. Can you hear me? No. There we go. Oh, can you hear us?
Oh, I didn't know that was on.
Isaac, can you hear us? No. Yeah. Well, Isaac's here, and there was and Linda, the owners of Gallagher, the owners of the ice cream truck. They're requesting permission to solicit. Can you hear us? Thumbs up. Yeah. Go ahead, Lena. Natasha's gonna send him a message.
I would just maybe say reschedule for them to come in person.
Well, I think we're having difficulties, so I'm not sure if Natasha or Brooke, can you let him know that there's difficulties and we'll have to reschedule?
He's trying a different way
Oh,
on his phone. Oh, he's gone.
lost him.
Chad will be here in 5 minutes.
Chad. Okay. All right, council. Brooke, if you can reach out to him and just if we can get him rescheduled. So before our next delegation, they said they'll be here in 5 minutes. So let's go to number 8, the update from committee meetings. Built Environment, Climate Adaptation, Lands and Membership Committee. Meeting date was Thursday, May 14th. Go ahead, Dale.
Yeah, I know we were waiting for a new form and we didn't get the new form, so we didn't get no official updates in regards to operational, but some of the stuff that did occur on our committee, were administrative issues. One was just in regards to, an item going to general finance where we, the sand and salt this year, as everyone know, the winter was pretty rough and long. So they had a little more expenses than they had originally budgeted for, so they'll be going back to council and the general finance to get that reapproved because it was higher than what they had anticipated. They're working on a policy in regards to water connection, so they'll be bringing that back once it's completed. Another item is, the director updated us in regards to the 3 schools, which is O.M. Smith, Emily C. General, and ILT, where, he's gotten commitment from IS to, redo the wastewater peatland system at the schools. They do have a shelf life and they've been in there for quite a few years now, close to 15 years, I think. So he's looking at, redoing the wastewater system and the peatland connected to it. One other thing that's probably be going to general finance is just an amendment to some of the minor capital projects where he's realigning some funds to do a project, so that'll be at general finance agenda. And the final thing is, I know a lot of people have been texting me or calling me anyways in regards to the bridge over on Cougar Road between Second and First Line. I know it's a joint project with Mississaugas of the Credit, and I know they were projected to finish in December, but they didn't do their paving, so Mike has confirmed with us at committee that hopefully at the end of May it will be completed and operational. Other than that, that's it, Chief.
Okay, thank you for your update. So, yeah, go ahead, Deb.
Yeah, so I just want to confirm that all the department managers have received the new reporting form for committees. So I can certainly follow up with them to find out the issue with using it, but it is an updated form to report to the committee level.
Okay, so recommendation 8.1, that Six Nations of the Grand River 59th elected council accept the verbal update report by the Built Environment Climate Adaptation Lands and Membership Committee Chair as information. Is there a mover? Moved by Hazel, second by Dean. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none, carried. Okay, let's go to number 3, the Well-Being Committee. The meeting date was Friday, May 22nd. Go ahead, Amos.
Okay, I have my chicken scratches, so I didn't get the the minutes yet. Anyway, I'm just going to go on a high level. We had a very good meeting on the 22nd. Greg MC chaired it for the first hour or so while I was away, and we had a great delegation from our to our committee. My committee, of course, is Hazel Johnson, Melba, Audrey, and myself and Greg. So we had a great presentation from the crisis. Um, uh, I guess the well-being crisis mental health group that came to meet with us. Um, I want, I guess the title, correct title is Mental Health and Addictions. And it was presented by Crystal Burning, Jerica Kennedy, and Cameron Salt. Um, I thought it was a very good presentation. And what we do at committee level is we have all of the sectors try to present to us in sequence. And it's up to Brian who's going to come to us next. But I'm always fascinated. I think we're all fascinated by the work that's being done by the group. And I think that gives us a good opportunity to understand their role rather than just seeing it on paper, to actually meet them. So we appreciated the fact that they took the time to come and speak with us. And I don't know whether I was like thinking out loud at the meeting. I was wondering whether if we could use in our toolbox I guess a process of a discussion paper, not where anybody would be complaining, but maybe bringing up issues that we could talk about eventually as a group. And I'm going to do some more thinking about that discussion paper in our toolbox. The other main, so we thanked them for that, and then we got into our high-level letter to Jane Philpott. Finally, we're going to invite her. I mean, we're sending a letter now to convene a meeting with Jane Philpott as the leader on the primary care in Ontario. So our team under Brian and Abigail have crafted a letter for us, and we kind of had a quick look at it at our meeting. We inserted some things that we thought should be said. So now they're ready to send that out, and that'll be CC to your office, Chief, and to my office. And we'll look at that and send it off to Jane Philpott. Um, we also have standing agenda items on the lodge, Ganeos, and hospice each meeting, and at BCH is planning the Brantford General Hospital task force looking at a new hospital for our area in this region of the community. As you know, I was appointed to that task force. Having signed an NDA, at least I can disclose to you that we have 3 properties now we're looking at, and that is now goes, our task force, because it's a task force, has a beginning and end. So we ended now. We made the recommendations of the 3 properties out of 12. And now it's up to the trustees to start negotiating the purchase or accepting a donation of land for that purpose. I shared this afternoon with our group that it's interesting the value of land that owners, I guess, adapt or offer. One of the properties, just for your information, and we needed, in our task force terms of reference, we're looking for properties of 50 acres. The one that was successful and is being recommended and starting to be negotiated comes in at $1.7 million an acre. So you can see the value of the land, an acre. So you can see the value of the land outside our community. So I'm really interested in hearing more about that. And we were able to learn that there are agencies outside the community that look at values of land and they can assess the value agriculturally and commercially. So I was wondering whether we might want to, and I know this is not in health but well-being, but maybe later on that we would look at assessing the whole tract. What's the value of the tract from the mouth to its source in terms of 2026? So there's a firm that can actually do that assessment of the value of our lands around the Grand River. The other big top level meeting that was held was the Food Sustainability Summit. All the stakeholders were there, and I guess we would call them our partners too as well. Were there except for the food bank, but they're going to continue to join us as we move forward. there seemed to be a willingness to continue on that process so that we can come and meet together to look at food sovereignty, sustainability, and um, sustainability and sovereignty and sustainability. Yes, those three. Um, so those two items, I mean, sorry. So we're looking at that, and hopefully that's going to call us together and really look at food sustainability, security for our communities, for our community here at Grand River. Um, we're still working on our community strategy plan, how we're going to communicate all of the efforts that well-being does. So we're going to look at print and our own website and the radio station, and we're looking at how we can do that. So Brian is working on that, and Abigail and the staff there. And in concert with the analytics as well, the data analytics, we're going to try and create some buzz about what we do as a well-being committee, and just to encourage some public knowledge of our work. So that's high levels where we went, and that's our political advocacy is our agenda item as well, the last part of our agenda, and that is to have that meeting with Jane Philpott, the lead on primary care in Ontario. So we're really happy that Abigail and Brian were able to do that draft for us, and it'll be coming to us as soon as they get it done. That's it. I don't know whether Hazel or Melba want to add any more, or Greg, to our. It went really well, I thought, Greg. And you reminded us about the hospice, the quid pro quo, on some of the efforts to fundraise for the hospice. So that was great. So that's our report at this level.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's recommendation 8.3.
Oh, just want to remind you, our next
Yep.
meeting is on June the 26th, sorry.
Okay. Recommendation 8.3, that the Six Nations of the Grand River 59th Elected Council approve the verbal update report by the Wellbeing Committee Chair as information. Is there a mover? Moved by Dale, second by Dean. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none? Carried. So let's go back to number 5, the delegations. Chad Feeney Glassford. Yeah. Come on up. And if you can introduce yourself.
Coach him.
Yeah. If you can have a seat and introduce yourself. So if you can push the button.
Okay.
And introduce yourself, and you can introduce who you have here.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'm Chad Feeney,
Yep.
Glassford. Yep. And I just want to introduce myself, and this is my business partner and friend, good friend Marcus. And yeah, I have a proposal for the council to consider. I'm going to let these guys explain it for you. I'm a little bit of a shy guy.
Okay.
Chad's shy, but he does know a lot about what we're going to talk about. Thank you very much, everyone, for having us today. Do I press this the whole time, or I just push it once and then it's...
Once is fine.
Great, I
There
don't
you
have
go.
to hold it. We actually have a few printouts that we could hand out if you guys want to look at something while we're chatting. I
Sure.
am worried that we might be
You wanna grab
short
those
one or
and
two, so hopefully you guys share. It's a little more information. Yeah. How are you? It's good to see you again. So things have kind of evolved since we presented the initial document to the council. As you know, I've been working with Chad for many years now in Toronto, and now kind of helping out a little bit here on the reserve. I have a company called Connect. Connect builds affordable housing and nonprofit homes in the city of Toronto. And I've partnered with Windmill Development Corporation. This is John Westeinda here behind me. We, in concert with the federal government, with funding that we've been receiving, have been able to produce mass timber affordable housing across the country. We have a facility in British Columbia, a factory that produces it. And the initial housing that we've been building here in Ontario, the first building, we had to ship every panel for that building across Canada. So the federal government is helping us to create a facility in Ontario. And I've been coming now to the reserve for the better part of a year, and noticed obviously that there's housing issue, and also that in the work that we've been doing on the site at on 54th, that there is definitely enough good labor here, good people that are working in the construction field. So the idea is to work together to consider this reserve as an option for housing our next mass timber production facility, and then utilizing that to work together to create housing on the reserve. I'm going to let John describe a little more about how Intelligent City works, but really the idea here is I just wanted to bring the opportunity and for us to have a conversation as to how we may be able to work together to do that. John? You stay there. I'll go back there.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Mustine, and I'm wearing a few hats, but I'm a board member of Intelligent City, and I'm also the CEO of a company called Windmill Development Group, which is a real estate development company which is developed across the country. We've done a number of partnerships with Indigenous nations where we've developed in the past, and we are the only company in North America that is certified under what's called the One Planet Living framework, which is really about how can we all live on this planet with the resources of one planet. So that drives us towards using wood and other things as far as our development philosophy. And Intelligent City is a company that's about 10 years old, and it's sort of hitting its stride. But it's really focused on, call it a modular mass timber, using as much as possible Canadian content, lumber, and natural resources to create essentially a floor system and a panel system that can kind of click together, in making housing cheaper and faster. And so, as Marcus has said, there's a factory currently producing in British Columbia, in Delta. The first project, not ironically, but sort of tied to it, that the company did was for the BC Indigenous Housing Society in a building that they did there, and put their panels on that building, and are working in partnership actually with that group in BC right now on future projects of theirs off reserve. And yeah, at this stage, we're really needing, there's enough demand and opportunity here in Ontario to build a factory here. And it's something that brings economic opportunity, it brings jobs, and it also brings both, housing opportunity on and off reserve for building housing that is using our own natural resources, doing so in a responsible way from a sustainability standpoint, but fundamentally can create some good jobs. And we've always thought as much as possible that we can partner with Indigenous groups in bringing this platform to market. Then it's mutually beneficial across the board. So we're sort of just trying to explore where to. We could locate this anywhere in Ontario, but we have some both provincial and federal grants already sort of lined up. But we're very motivated and interested to see if there's opportunity to work with Indigenous groups, and through my relationship with working with Marcus for a long time, and Marcus' relation with Chad, and also just lots of things about this particular. There's lots of fundamentals, both geographic location, size, all that make this a very interesting, sort of potential opportunity. So that's really, I think, what's being brought to the table is sort of there's a few things that, one is just the opportunity of land. If there is land on the reserve that could be made available for a manufacturing facility. Second is employment, and that's the question. Like the factory initially would employ sort of a minimum of 50 people on the factory floor, with opportunity to grow, substantially from there. And then, economic opportunity in both maybe forms of ownership, collaboration, that sort of thing, but really with a lot of the housing currently, there's a pipeline that is already secured for, call it 2 years of runway for the factory off reserve. But like any factory, there's always sort of peaks and flows. And so any factory works well if there's the opportunity to sort of say, okay, for any time we're working off, projects off that we're in a bit of a lull, we can continue to produce housing and other things that could be benefit for on reserve. You get a nice sort of mutually beneficial cycle of how this could work. So there's the land, there's the employment, there's different forms of other economic opportunity out of that, and then beyond that, there might be things that are off reserve economic opportunity. But that's kind of the broader context, I guess, of what's being brought to the table.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming in tonight and sharing that. Go ahead, Amos.
Yeah, I was just wondering, my name is Amos Key Jr. I was just wondering whether, is this a not-for-profit kind of organization or a partnership that you're seeking? A not-for-profit?
It's a for-profit opportunity, but it's one that ideally can create for-profit for the reserve also. Yeah.
Go ahead, Audrey, then Alina.
Just a couple questions. One is, what does this factory look like? Are you taking trees and harvesting them and cutting them up and making wood or making logs, or what is it that you?
No, we're sort of downstream a bit. So there's a factory in St. Thomas, Ontario right now called Element 5 that takes called the raw materials and produces what is called cross-laminated timber panels. And so those panels, we're then sort of doing further advanced manufacturing on those panels. So it's sort of a little downstream from the straight, kind of wood. We'd love to sort of continue to move upstream, but right now you'll have panels delivered and then they're cut and manufactured and assembled to get to sort of more floor cassettes and envelope panels here.
Okay, my next question is, why Six Nations?
A lot of it is relationship to a certain degree. A lot of it is from a geographic location in the sense of being able to service what is primarily an Ontario market, proximity to the GTA and Ottawa. Like there's a great geographic location here. The proximity of labor to the area, but a lot of it comes down to relationship.
This
Which
is kind of my idea.
yeah.
So I've been coming here for the last year, and I've also.
Can you grab a mic?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Here.
usually pretty loud, but
Yeah.
can I borrow yours?
Yeah.
So I've been coming here for the last year or so, and oh. Hi, hello. Does this one work? Anyways, I've been coming here for the last year or so, and it just seemed quite synergistic. I was involved in this company. I'd invested in this company, Intelligent City. I'd begun building affordable housing in the city of Toronto, and then I was coming up here with Chad and his father, who I've known for 30 years now, and I was seeing what was going on here on the reserve, and I thought that, it just seems like the most perfect opportunity. And I know John wants to locate a factory, so I've been kind of championing that factory should be here. It's got a good close proximity to Toronto. We know that we know the federal government's going to fund the buildings that are going to be produced. We know there's going to be demand. We know that we could use housing here on the reserve, good housing. So it just seemed like everything fit together. And it was initially, we're looking at a gas station, right? Like we were looking at putting in an Esso on 54th there. And although that seems like a great opportunity, it's just the more I come here, the more I see that maybe the reason why I'm supposed to be here helping out is not just to put another gas station here. And maybe there's something we can do that is more impactful in the community. And if I can help do that, great.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Alina.
Thank you. I'll share my thanks for coming in. Like I did with the last delegation, I appreciate when people come in to ask for things that they come in person. Just so that I'm clear, on our agenda, it says that you're looking for a BCR for interest in the land for a non-member, authorization for a non-member to hold interest in the land. Is that still what you're asking for? And do these opportunities hinge on that BCR?
Hi, sorry. Amos is letting me borrow it. Yeah. So for sure, a BCR is involved. So just like if we were going to build a gas station, the most expensive component to this facility are robots, big scary robots that actually cut this CLT wood into panels that get turned into walls for the building. And those robots are millions and millions of dollars. So we would need capital to bring those robots here, and whoever's providing us with that capital, whether it be the BDC or the federal government, will want the ability to secure against that. So, as a part of this, we would need some ability to provide security for the machinery that's producing the equipment, the buildings.
Just a follow up.
Yep, go ahead, follow up.
And you mentioned that there's something going on 54. What's going on there?
It'll work now.
Hello?
Hello? Oh, okay, great. Can I sit over here? I feel like I've been all over this room. Yeah, so on 54, the intention was for us to put a gas station. Although, like, we still would love to move forward with that, and we're very interested. It just, because the opportunity to bring a manufacturing facility is kind of now, I thought that I would use the opportunity to come in and discuss it.
Yeah, me and Chad live there, right? We've been there for a year. I come up from the city about, how do I push this button?
Just hold it. Yeah.
Yeah, I come up from the city about a year ago to renovate the house for Chad and his family. Well, I never left because I had retired in the city. I've been building there for years. I came to get the house ready for Chad, and we're waiting for him to come. He's coming with all the kids soon. But then we thought about the gas station, and we thought about other things, and I really like it here. I'm originally from from Algonquin Park. So I'm Algonquin. I met Chad's mother here 40 years ago. And she's Mohawk, and my son is, and my other son, and my other son, and my other daughter, my other daughter, my other daughter. So we were all here for the Cheese and Wine Festival. We spent a lot of time here. I want them to all come here. So I came out to get the big house ready, added 3 extra washrooms, and from there we just sort of moved forward. And I really like it here, and the people, mostly. I think I'm done.
Yeah, sorry, just if you could answer that question, what's happening on 54? Like, where is this?
Okay, so we'd be the first property on 54, right at Ewell and 54. So if you're coming out of Caledonia, you see us first. We're right across from Raceway. Emma, Wild Bill that was in there. We're across from them. We have a cigarette store there and a restaurant, and we're hoping to open the restaurant on Monday. And Chad's cousin is next door with his first fish and chip place. There, you may have heard of that. And so we got all kinds of. I have chickens, actually lots of chickens. I sell a lot of chicken eggs there. We have tomatoes, vegetables, onions, garlic. We sell a lot of different stuff there. I wish everyone would come by and have a look. I mean, we did quite the job there. I've been working really hard. I usually work 7 days a week, 10 or 15 hours a day. But everyone's welcome to come by and see what we do. You know.
Okay, I have Hazel, Dale, Helen, and Dean. Go ahead, Hazel.
Chad, who was your mom?
Carrie Feeney. So Stats.
She was a stud?
She was a stat, yeah. Noreen Stats was my grandma.
Okay. We have to go back and figure out where the Grahams are so we can remember who you were.
She was one tough woman.
I'll just let everybody else ask some more questions.
Go ahead, Dale.
Yeah, I know we talked before. I know you guys invited me over, and I think it was just focused on the gas station at the time. And I know you had asked me a question in relation to this, and I know where council would authorize anything, and I think I'd indicated that it wouldn't be anything connected to the land, but it could be in relation to any type of chattel. And I know you mentioned the equipment, and I think that is something that would probably fit on their channel. But I think, and then my other question is in regards to your housing development stuff. Is there an actual business plan that you've put together and submitted to get the grants and something that can be reviewed on our side? Because I think there's some due diligence on our side that needs to be done in relation to council making any type of decision.
No, for sure, and you know, this is not meant to have any decisions here. This is just informed. But no, there's a detailed business plan. I mean, obviously, in the sense of securing the grants that have been secured, there's you know, more information than you want to go through, but we can get it to a point that it's well synthesized and totally understand.
The idea is that we work together to bring Intelligence City here with indigenous ownership, right? Like, I don't like. I don't know how this works or if it works. I just see an opportunity. I've invested some money in this company. I have a little bit of a say in where the company puts its manufacturing. John has a lot of the say. And I think it'd be a great fit. And if we can make it work together, amazing.
Follow up?
No, and I appreciate that, and I know we are always looking on how things can develop and grow, and especially in the housing area, so, but I think it's just gonna take, some due diligence on our side, I guess, to look at what's feasible.
Go ahead, Helen.
Thank you for your presentation. I guess my first question is, I wanted you to explain to me, what do you mean by interest in the land? I was reading it in this thing here, and I was reading it in this letter that talks about
Well,
interest in it. What does that mean to
I
me?
think really, again, has been brought, the main thing is to bring a factory, like if we brought a factory anywhere else and people were lending the money to enable the equipment and all those sorts of things, they're able to get security in that, against there. So it's not really anything about interest of land or needing to own land or anything like that. It's just really being able to finance what's needed to get the factory up and running and enable that money to be secured, like in robots and other things. So chattels, as an example, is fine, and it can be a land lease, it can be anything else like that, that just sort of gives the ability to put the structure and operate there.
So where would this plant go? Is it the same land that you're talking about?
No, it's not big enough.
Where's that land that you're talking about, where this plant was?
Well, this is just sort of first exploring an appetite to look at the idea of putting it here, and then if there was, then that would be the next exercise, is sort of say, okay, is there, land? There's lots of land here, obviously, but is there the right land and the right circumstances that we can put something together? The first factory we're talking about, just to give you an idea, would be about 50,000 square feet, but we'd like to have the ability to put up to 100,000 square feet on the property.
Yeah, I think probably the best suggestion I could make right now is to have them meet with a smaller group.
That's what
possibly
we're-
with Dale and
that's what
me and
we're-
Dale on BCOM and with Andrew and different people to talk about this, because there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's what we'll probably do. We're gonna accept it as information tonight, and we'll do our due diligence and get back to them. Go ahead, Dean.
I'd just like to ask yourself, Chad, what is your involvement into the project and your stake?
Pardon me?
What is your involvement into the project and your stake?
In my state, I'm just working alongside with them, seeing the project go smoothly and just watch over everything.
He's the boss right now.
Yeah.
Safe to say, like, everything right now, there is no structure or framework. Everything's just exploratory at the moment, and just, we would consider, success out of this meeting being exactly that. There's an appetite to, have a discussion with a smaller group and get into a bit more detail. That's all we could ask for, really, in a sense of taking away from this.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for coming in. And again, we're gonna accept this as information, and we'll do our due diligence, and we'll get, we have your contact information, Chad, so we'll get back in contact with you,
Okay,
and we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
And
thank you.
Can I just,
So-
thank you very much. Would it be helpful if we did send a little bit more information about the company, just so
For
you
sure.
have that? Okay, we'll do that.
Yep.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Can I have a mover to accept his information? Moved by Amos, second by Dale. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none? Carried. Okay, let's go to number 9. The next meeting is June 9th, 2026. Deadline for agenda items is noon on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. And let's go to number 10, a motion to adjourn.
You do that, Chief? I was wondering, like Helen was asking, if we can designate some people to talk
Yeah,
to
we're
them.
gonna,
I
yeah,
don't
we'll
know.
figure that out internally. And then we'll go from there because there's a couple of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Natasha, can you shut that off? So can I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Amos, second by Carrie. All in favor? Anybody opposed? See none? Carried. Thank you for joining us tonight and have a great night, everyone.